proper self. Assessment is important because it allows you to evaluate your achievements and determine what you can accomplish. It helps you understand what you are good at, what comes with difficulty, and what is better left alone. If you want to become an Olympic champion, it might be possible, but without desire, you will not succeed. Self-assessment defines your limits and is useful. If you decide to become a laureate today, a champion tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow change everything in your home, there is a chance you will achieve nothing. If it turns out later that you could have done more, why didn't you? Perhaps you consciously refused. But how do we understand which peaks we can truly reach? We constantly strive for goals, taking step by step and achieving results. How to evaluate it correctly? Blaming yourself and worrying is pointless. It's a waste of energy. Every failure teaches how to act correctly. For a smart person, there are no failures, only valuable experiences. The rule, be prepared for any success, makes the subconscious form positive assessments. And everything will go as it should. The subconscious chooses the behavior you desire. If you consider yourself a failure, the subconscious will remove confidence from your voice and alter your posture, resulting in failure. The subconscious works on evaluating during sleep. In the morning, all evaluations are already made, and the situation appears in a different light. The problem is that the subconscious does this without our consent. If in the morning you feel not in the mood, it means the subconscious didn't like something about your behavior yesterday, and it decides to punish you for it. If you are not satisfied with the activity of the subconscious, it can be organized. You need to understand the criteria for evaluating events. Imagine, an athlete took a run, up and threw a javelin 90 meters. Is this a success or a failure? To answer, you need additional information. What is the world record? What results has this athlete shown previously? And what is the goal of the training? Success depends on numerous factors, and any result can be perceived as a failure. If an athlete performs at their usual level, it's said they're treading water. If they achieve a personal record, it's noted that it's not a world record. Even setting a world record might be considered a failure. If the result wasn't recorded at a competition, people often consider their achievements failures, supporting this with new arguments. But it's worth changing the perspective. An athlete, making another attempt during training, enjoys successful throws and gains new experience in handling the javelin. If we consider every mistake a failure and our achievements insufficient, we will constantly blame ourselves. Develop energy and drive for achievements. And do not stand still. An unsatisfactory evaluation is an obstacle to energy. A valley of blooming roses lies before you, yet you stand at the edge of a swamp. The subconscious evaluates us based on the value system we choose. We often make the mistake of praising only the full achievement, ignoring the efforts made. Often, we forget about the initial premises and expect instant results from a novice, like those of a master. But this rarely happens. The successes of a beginner are just as important as the achievements of a professional. When evaluating the result, it is important to remember who achieved it. It's worth congratulating yourself. Well done. You made a useful attempt and learned more about your capabilities. Now these insights can be applied more successfully. So praise yourself and move forward. What to do if failure has taken away the desire to do anything? It means that your energy reserve is depleted and needs to be replenished. Acknowledge your feelings and desires. Uncertainty arises from suppressing desires and internal judgment. Is this okay? What will people say? Other people have the same desires, so there is no point in focusing on them. Desires are a source of life energy. Suppressing them creates a cycle. Lack of desires leads to a deficit of energy, which causes fatigue and mistakes. A tired and disappointed person loses interest in desires. But the cycle can be broken by following the principle: desire, decision, action. Allow yourself to want and fulfill this desire. Even a small success will energize you. Allow yourself to dream, without limits or judgment, and you will derive enjoyment from it. By starting to dream of bold things, you may quickly return to familiar pleasures, as the subconscious, frightened by the prospects, brings you back down to earth. This is normal. Internal barriers are inherent in everyone. Keep dreaming, reassuring yourself. Right now, I am dreaming of the impossible and unattainable. Do this until you feel the strength that great desires give. Create impressive scenarios of your life, expanding your goals, anticipating great achievements. You feel your heart skip a beat, a shiver run down your spine, and powerful life energy is born. And you smile like a person with an unbroken spirit. Choose one priority goal. Imagine a large crane flying high in the sky transforming into a small origami crane on your desk, and begin working on its growth. Identify the main goal and break it down into sub-goals. Setting a deadline for the first task, no longer than 10 minutes. Act immediately after making a decision. The beginning will inspire you, and getting something started is harder than moving it forward. Doubts are like puddles. Don't get stuck in them, but find a way around them as you move toward your goals. Even a small success will give you strength, and the mistake is not taking the first step. The mind remembers an action and unconsciously blocks you in the future, preventing you from moving forward. Internally, it will feel like, yes, I will do it later. Today, perhaps you're just not in the mood, and it requires effort. Afraid to take the first step? That's normal. Don't fight the fear. Choose an action that might fail but won't lead to catastrophe. Consider failure as an option and act. Then it won't matter if something doesn't work out because that was anticipated too. Understand what went wrong and try again until you succeed. To cope with the fear of failure, use the 1,000 imps method. Imagine each doubt as a little imp that scares and distracts you. Fighting them is useless. However, the solution is simple. Catch one and it will disappear. Then catch the next one. Once you catch 2 or 3, the rest will scatter on their own. If you notice the rake, you won't step on it. But what do you do if it's dark all around and the floor is strewn with rakes? Every step is accompanied by a hit to the forehead. Step, boom. Failures repeat if you are not subconsciously striving for success. Perhaps you are not where you truly want to be. The goal is imposed from outside, and the subconscious resists. In that case, return to your true desires, and consider whether you really need to enter that room. Getting here is worth doing without unnecessary fuss. Move carefully in the room with the rakes. If you have an important presentation, but you mumble, blush, and cannot articulate clearly and logically, it might seem like a dead end. Resolve the problem with small steps. First, present in front of one person or even a plush kitten. The main thing is to achieve a small success. When the subconscious is tuned, you will achieve success. That will become the basis for greater, and then enormous success. Great success is like climbing a ladder. Step by step, each step is small, but you ascend higher until you reach the top. Why is it so hard to take the first step? There's a reason they say a good start is half the battle. The subconscious avoids change, preferring the familiar and established, trying to avoid the new and unknown. The subconscious has a cunning trait: reflection, thoughts about its intentions. This is useful if a decision has not yet been made, but it slows down action. For example, you decide to kiss a girl and think, what if she misunderstands? The contemplation drags on. The moment passes, and another person kisses the girl. When the matter is significant, reflection can take a long time, days, months, or years. People inclined to contemplation are noticeable by their plans. They talk about a step they are about to take, but a year later, they say the same thing. Such people continually doubt and choose between options. A serious matter requires an approach. One desires a magic wand, a secret spell, or a genie in a bottle to easily move mountains. but in their absence, the important matter is postponed indefinitely. To break the vicious cycle, lower the height of your goal to a level accessible to you. Begin any complex task by starting small. This might be preparing a report by first writing the title, or a desire to kiss someone by starting with an intense gaze. Take it step by step and ensure the completion of each one. Movement lifts the spirit, but that's not the only important aspect. With each step, the world opens up in new ways. Opportunities arise, doors open, and people appear, ready to help. You begin to notice these chances, doors, and people. On the contrary, if you reflect too much, everything remains stagnant. While the world moves, you're stuck. Any action is better than inaction. When you notice that you're reflecting, simplify the first step to a basic level. There's no need to jump over 10 steps. Small steps are important because they create movement. The first step to break out of an endless cycle of reflection. If you know what and how to do it, prepare your workspace. If you don't know what to do, find information. If you don't know how, learn to start and stop the process. If you know everything but it doesn't work out, try it on a model. Let's apply this to a situation when you want to kiss. Preparing the workspace. Miss, may I move over? What's your name? Angela. Did you know I plan to kiss a girl named Angela? Finding information. Hey, buddy. What's the name of the girl on the couch? Can I kiss her? Response. Ask her yourself. Thanks. The process has begun. Girl. I'm a photographer. Let's check photogenicity. Close your eyes. Pout your lips. No, not like that. Look at me. This is a trial step on the model. What's your name? Rosa? I have a request. Rosa. I want to kiss Angela, but I'm afraid she won't like it. Help me check how I kiss. The first step is done. Hooray! To move forward and achieve significant results, energy is needed. With a sufficient amount of it, you can overcome obstacles, while a lack of it will cause inaction. Energy is the foundation of life, and the ability to effectively manage this energy leads to success and happiness. Energy is born from our desire, and a dream can give maximum strength, inspiring us. But where does this energy go? Part of it goes towards fulfilling the desire, but a significant portion is spent overcoming internal resistance. The struggle between the conscious and the subconscious. The subconscious is afraid of everything new, while the dream is associated with the pursuit of the new. The rule states, success on the path to a dream boosts energy, and maximum energy is achieved at the edge of one's capabilities. This creates a chain. Desire, effort, success, burst of energy, at the end of which you enjoy life as if bathing in a waterfall. Failures reduce energy, but it remains. Complaints about life deplete it completely. If you constantly repeat, I can't do anything, the subconscious will take this as a command and execute it. Consider, do you need this? Do not think in terms of can or cannot. The only thing that matters is want or do not want. The next step is simple. If you want, it means you can, and you start acting right away. The goal of the first steps is to create a wave of success, a special state arising from small achievements. This feeling is so pleasant and productive that any undertaking should be considered successful only. If you have created this, distribute tasks so that you start with labor, intensive actions, and then move on to lighter and more enjoyable ones. The phrase, saving the best for last, can help remember this method. It is important to combine two processes. Actions become easier, and the pleasure from them increases. It's similar to pulling a sled up a hill in the morning. Then you happily slide down, gaining speed. The wind blows in your face, and you enjoy how you manage to do more and more.